160-pound catchweight bout, set for 3 2-minute rounds, brought to you by Aloha Electric Supply Company. We now introduce to you first the Punch Edibles blue corner. At 5'10", weighing 158 3/4 pounds. With a 45-second stoppage victory in his amateur debut, his record now stands at 1-0 out of Havoc Fit from Sacramento. By way of Carmichael, California, David Sallee. Now he introduces his opponent, fighting out of the Punch Edibles red corner. Standing 5'9", weighing 160 pounds, 2-0 at A1 Combat, 4-1 overall as an amateur. Training with standalone MMA from Chico, California, Brandon Arevalo. Referee Brian Tyler.
Well, I stand corrected. Arevalo has a 4-1 overall record. And he's 2-0 in A1 combat competition, victorious at A1 25 and 26.
So sometimes we see a little bit of a differential due to the fact that people sometimes fight on sanctioned shows.
Right.
So Pure Combat, for example, would have been not under camo, so his camo record would technically be undefeated. It does cause a little bit of confusion because we often see people having many more fights on Tapology than they do with the Camo Commission. And that predominantly happens, but only happens at amateur just due to the sanctioning.
Nonetheless, it's been an impressive amateur run for Brandon Arevalo. 2-minute rounds here, though, because David Sallee only has one mixed martial arts fight in his career thus far, albeit very experienced in Muay Thai. Nice left hand by Sallee.
Kicks landing heavy on both sides. Southpaw stance of Sallee and orthodox of Arevalo, as Arevalo pushes forward and looks to gain this control of the center. Sorry, I've had to pause a little bit as Sallee pushed back forward himself.
Sallee, a bit of a height advantage, perhaps reach advantage as well, but Arevalo considers himself to be the quicker of the two. Seeing some switches of the stance here by the southpaw, Sallee. Ooh, left hand finds a home, but great counter there by Arevalo.
Yeah, Sallee looking a little bit stunned, but immediately back to firing his combinations and pushing forward.
Beautiful jab there by Arevalo.
I don't want to speak too soon, but I think it's safe to say that we will not be seeing any wrestling here tonight.
I think you are absolutely correct in that assumption.
And I will not complain.
No. I mean, we saw a little bit of everything in that last fight, so at this point, the excitement will certainly continue between two tremendous strikers.
Arevalo biting on every movement of Sallee. That's one thing I'm noticing. Like, he's kind of reacting to every small movement, and that's going to allow Sallee to kind of time his rhythm and tag him a little bit. Whereas if you look at Sallee, he's not really overslipping, overreaching, and very calm and composed in these striking exchanges. But Arevalo's been landing some heavy kicks to open that round out. A very tough first round to score.
But if you're Arevalo, you probably want to avoid the clinch. Obviously, that would be a strength of someone like Arevalo fighting in Muay Thai for the past decade like he has. So if you're Arevalo, you probably want to maintain your distance a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, like we had touched on, both of these guys do have grappling skills and capabilities. Are we going to see it tonight? I think it's unlikely, but they are both capable. And we see here both of these guys having success pushing forward. Heavy overhand from Sallee, but immediately countered by Arevalo, and looked like he had Sallee rung for a little bit, but Sallee able to immediately regain composure and start pushing back forward.
Tremendous counter there by Arevalo. In the closing moments, though, we did see Sallee start to land some knees out of the clinch, which obviously speaks to his high-level Muay Thai skill. So we're about ready for the second round. Thanks for joining us live on YouTube. This is our 5th fight of the A1 Combat 29 Prelims. We're going live on Fight Pass for A1 29, 7 p.m. Pacific. Oh!
Heavy inside leg kick from Sallee drops Arevalo to his knee. And that's the thing with that split stance. It can be a little bit awkward throwing it, due to the risk of accidental low blows, especially with that split stance. It's very easy to do. But it does open that stance and potentially off-balance Arevalo, and it's going to slow him down pressing forward. So beautiful job utilizing that from Sallee.
Oh, a nice right hand by Sallee. And he really has the mindset. He said, look, I have nothing to lose. I've been fighting Muay Thai for a long time. I'm excited to get in the cage. And we're just really seeing that kind of mindset from him. He continues to try to march forward, but to Arevallo's credit, he's firing right back.
Yeah, and this is a great fight for Sallee. You know, he's got a guy that's willing to engage and exchange in these positions and kind of giving him exactly what he's looking for.
This is what Sallee wants.
Beautiful dirty boxing in the clinch from Sallee. Obviously, due to the amateur rule set, we're not able to throw elbows. Can throw knees to the body, just to clarify from our earlier circumstances.
Not to the head.
But not to the head. And beautiful takedown from Sallee, looking to show us a little bit of those brown belt skills.
Absolutely. Strong second round here. And in 2-minute rounds, you have to take advantage of every single second. Sallee certainly doing that here in the second, trying to make a pass into side control, perhaps.
And you got to think he's potentially looking at being 2 rounds up if he manages to control and land some damage here for the last 30 seconds. First round was tight.
Nice
People
pass.
in the comments are saying they think he won that round.
First round was difficult.
First round's difficult, but I do think potentially looking at Sallee up 2. So Arevalo is really going to have to stress some urgency as we come out here in the third, because we've got 10 seconds left to escape this dominant mount position.
Tremendous jiu-jitsu in the latter portion of the second round by Sallee. Makes the pass into side control and then was able to establish a full mount as we are going to come to a third round. But what a performance by David Sallee there in the second.
Yeah, definitely. And you got to think the Sallee's got to be just gaining confidence. You know what I mean? Like, he's a Muay Thai fighter coming in here, and now he's out grappling his opponent. So you got to think he's just increasing in confidence, and you can see it on his face. Arevalo, like I say, maybe he won that first. It was close. Not sure what the judges are seeing tonight sometimes. So, but you got to think that his team are trying to light a fire at him and get him to come out and put a stamp on that third round and really just not leave it to the judges, as they say.
So we check out the standout moments from the second round, and early on there, Arevalo getting rocked just a bit. There was a nice right hand by Sallee, and then he closed out with some strong grappling action in a very impressive second round. And Sallee made a point to say, he said, look, I don't want everyone to think I'm just a Muay Thai fighter. I've been training jiu-jitsu this entire time. I am a brown belt, so I want to show a little bit of everything, and we're seeing it so far.
Yeah, definitely. Like you mentioned, we talked about layoff, but not seeing any signs of. I mean, he's been active in Muay Thai. I don't think there was any question about ring rust or anything like that, but definitely showing a full display of MMA in that second round.
All right, gentlemen, third and final round.
We're seeing some comments on YouTube. How can we watch the main card tonight? It's really simple. Go to UFC Fight Pass, and you could sign up. You get some of the greatest MMA action across the globe on UFC Fight Pass, essentially on a daily basis. And that is, of course, the home of A1 Combat.
We talked about Arevalo needing to light a fire under him.
Oh!
He pressed forward, potentially drops Sallee with that straight right. Heavy blows as he backs Sallee up to the cage. And yeah, we talked about potentially not letting it go to the judges, and he is doing his best not to right now.
Oh, another beautiful right hand.
Sallee is wrung right now. I think he needs to look to tie up Arevalo, because Arevalo is about to unload and potentially finish. We see these fights get stopped a lot earlier in amateur, Johnny. I mean, fighter safety is priority, and at the end of the day, these aren't the professional ranks, so yeah.
Well, this is certainly the opening of a third round that Brandon Arevalo needed as he continues to march forward, hitting the bullseye one after the other, and this could be the beginning of the end. Can Sallee survive all the way through this third round? It doesn't appear. Another right hand rocks Sallee, and now another right hand.
Referee looking closely.
Oh my goodness.
And Sallee is just eating those blows. He doesn't quite seem out of it yet, but he's not quite in there either. And as you mentioned, Johnny, we've got 30 seconds left, and that could be it.
That'll do it. Corey, he was having a very difficult time covering up, and it was right hand after right hand, and finally the knockout blow was dealt as Brandon Arevalo withstood a very impressive second round by David Sallee to score a third round knockout in the final 30 seconds of the fight. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. You know, we talked about the striking pedigree of both of these guys, and Arevalo just able to absolutely turn the, to change the direction of the fight. You know, we talked about Sallee being up 2 potentially, and Arevalo just went out there and said, not on my watch, and was able to get that TKO finish. Absolutely devastating finish for Sallee, but what a performance for having not fought in over 10 years in the MMA octagon.
Credit to Sallee. He kept attempting to march forward, but it got to the point where he had a difficult time keeping his hands up. And Arevalo picked his moment, and the right hand found a home and found victory for Arevalo. And that's a great point, Corey. It's very possible that Sallee won those first 2 rounds, so Arevalo needed to have a lot of urgency moving into this 3rd round.
Yeah, certainly. You know, we said that between the 2nd and the 3rd round. I said his corner team's probably going to light a fire under him, and he came out and he said, he said, we're not going to those judges, so.
Well, the match was lit, the fire went ablaze as Brandon Arevalo with an incredible finish to this fight. Let's go to Garrett Fertig for the official announcement.
Referee Brian Tyler steps in and stops this fight. Official time, 1 minute, 30 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner by TKO, Brandon Arevalo.
Well, not to repeat myself, let's hear it one more time again for these 2 fighters. My goodness. Man, Brandon Arevalo, such grit, such perseverance, a knockout in the final 30 seconds of the 3rd round. You withstood a very strong 2nd round. His jiu-jitsu skills were on display. But in the 3rd, what was the mindset? Did you realize you had to have urgency and aggression there?
Yeah, I knew. Coach told me I was down 2 rounds, so I knew I had to put it on him. And I was finding a success with a cross, so I was pulling his hand down, his left hand, and punching the cross through. And that's what I did. That's what happened.
Certainly was. It became target practice towards the end. Now, I've spoken to you a few times. You said mixed martial arts is my life. You don't have a plan B. I have to make progress every time out. How do you feel about the performance tonight?
Coach just told me, you got it, dude. So I got it in me. This is what I am, and this is all I've been doing for the past year or 2. So, and I'm ready. I was supposed to fight for a title here, but everyone else pulled out, and David here stepped up last minute. So, congrats to him too as well.
Absolutely. Well, I was just told after winning tonight, you're guaranteed a title opportunity next time out. Brandon Arevalo, now 5-1, fighting for a title very soon. Congratulations, man.
Brandon Arevalo, your winner for tonight as we look to move on to some highlights